Julien Laurens back in the house, everybody. Woo! Yeah. All right. For the big game, there could be no other guest we would have on the sofa. Now, going into the big final, how excited are you compared to finals of, say, the last 3 or 4 World Cups?
Well, probably more excited than ever before. I think that's been a great World Cup. I'm not sure we will see a great final because final by definition you're more cautious than you are, and we've seen in the last few knockout stages round that it's not the same as the group stages, for example. However, the World Cup has been great. I think there's a great momentum going into that final. Even if Argentina could have played probably a bit better, but Germany in that semi-final were outstanding. And I think it's 2 different styles. It's obviously Messi as well in that final, which is what everybody wanted, to be fair. And overall, I think he's got all the ingredients to be maybe not the most spectacular, but at least the most fascinating tactically, technically, and mentally as well, final of the last 20 years.
As you say, we want to see huge stars like Messi in the World Cup final, but he's been off colour this tournament, there's no doubt about that. Do you think there's an underlying reason as to why, or is he just a player that's out of form by his high standards and he could really step up when it matters most?
I think he started well. Yeah, I think he started well. You know, he scored those goals in the group stages, and the winner against Iran at the last minute was brilliant. The goal against Bosnia, when it was him against 4 defenders, was brilliant. And I think as further as you go into the competition, the teams you play are stronger and they defend better on you. And we saw against Holland that there was always 1 or 2 players on him. He didn't have the freedom that he used to in the group stages, for example, and he had to play differently. And when he plays differently, he still causes problem to the opposition, but maybe he's less efficient and decisive as he would be in another game. So overall, I think people have been a bit harsh with Argentina, I thought, and with Messi as well.
We fall into that trap of expecting him to do something incredible every time he gets the ball.
Yeah, but he doesn't play against Getafe in a World Cup. You know what I mean? There's games and games. There's La Liga games and then World Cup games. And obviously, Van Gaal knew exactly what to do against Messi, and so did De Jong, and so did every single Holland player in that team.
So what about Lowe? What's he going to do against Messi?
He's going to do the same. I think Schweinsteiger, who's playing at in front of his back 4, the bottom of that midfield 3 for Germany, will look after Messi, will follow him everywhere. They won't give him any space. They will try to be as close as possible so he doesn't get a run on the ball, that he can't do the passing and things like that. But that would be obviously the key. If they can keep Messi quiet, it'd be much easier for them to win it. If he has even just one time, just once, an influence on the game, they could score a goal, Argentina, and it could be the end.
What about Germany's weak link, do you think?
Well, it's linked to Messi as well. We went for Benedikt Höwedes, the left back, who's usually a centre half, right-footed as well. So centre half, right-footed playing as left back is obviously a bit weird. And Messi has that tendency of drifting a lot on the right-hand side, like he did against the Netherlands. So that would be as well a key of the game. Messi knows that Höwedes is their weakest link, and he will try to put pressure on him, with him on the ball. Höwedes is a tall German guy, pretty slow, and Messi with his pace and his skills could cause him a lot of problems. So I think they'll probably double up in front of Höwedes. So let's say someone like Toni Kroos will have to do a lot of work defensively. Even Ozil or Müller, whoever plays on the left-hand side a bit higher on the pitch, will have to come and defend as well to try to block that left-hand side for Germany, who could be their weakest link.
What about Argentina's weakest link?
Who would have thought during the season that Müller and Demichelis would play in the World Cup final? No one, even not him. You know, he's been before the World Cup. I think it was almost 3 years since he's played for his country again. He's 33. We saw him giving stupid penalties away against Barcelona and Messi, for example, in the Champions League for City. And he was surprised to be in the 30-man squad. He was even more surprised to be in the 23-man squad, and he was even more surprised to be in the team for the quarterfinals and then the semis and now for the final. You know, I think Müller is such a clever player, and his movement and his skills on the ball as well could cause so much problem to Demichelis, who is slow, who doesn't read the game that well. He was good in the semis, better than I think people expected. However, that's a step higher, and I'm not sure Demichelis is up for it, really.
He's got, Müller, this is the golden boot in his sights. It's been a remarkable tournament for him, hasn't it?
It has, and we saw Miroslav Klose just beating the record of Ronaldo to be the top scorer in all World Cup. And I think Müller will beat that record one day. He's still young, and his record in World Cup is incredible in terms of games played, and goals scored, assists as well, chances created. It's fantastic. Germans are efficient by nature, and Müller is the prime example of that. He's so clinical. It's crazy, and we saw the goal he took against Brazil, and the game overall he had. He just wastes nothing. You know, everything is done almost to the perfection. When he takes on the ball, when he takes on a defender, when he passes, when he scores, everything is just so clinical. It's impressive.
Now, Toni Kroos is one of the players that said you don't win anything in a semi-final. We've got to forget what happened against Brazil and treat this game very separately. Argentina are going to be an altogether very different proposition from the Brazil team we saw in that semi-final, not least because of the steel they've got in the team, and Höwedes Mascherano is the leader of that iron side of the Argentinian team, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about Messi as much as you want, and yes, he started well, yet now he's not maybe as influential in the game, but Mascherano has been the key player for the Argentinian from the start as well, and the game he had against the Netherlands in the semi-final was just incredible. Everything. He can read the game so well. His interceptions, even his passing now since he moved to Barcelona is much better, much more precise. And obviously, the tackle of the tournament was the one he made on Arjen Robben. In the dying minutes of the game, that could have cost them the game. And it's fantastic. And when you think that he's been playing for the last 3 years as centre half, for him then to revert to his usual defensive midfielder position, but still with having almost no experience in the last 3 years to playing in that position with his club is quite magnificent.
Now, it's very much his sense that with this group of German players, you look at ahead to the next World Cup in 4 years' time, Lahm, Schweinsteiger, they're going to be getting to an age where it's probably win or bust, isn't it, in this final?
I think it is the last chance of that golden generation. It's a generation that won the Under-21 European Championship not long before. They were unlucky 4 years ago a bit, and clearly now, although they were not amongst the favourites, really, apart from you and your very clever bet, but everybody saw Brazil, everybody saw Argentina, but not too much about Germany because they arrived there with some injuries, a few doubts about Jogi Löw, and they've just got better and better and better through the tournament to reach that semi-final that was incredible, and now the final. So. It's probably the last time. What's interesting, I think, is 4 years ago, none of their players were playing abroad. None of them. There was zero. Everybody was playing the Bundesliga. This year, 7 out of 23 are playing abroad, either to England or to Spain. And I think that's something England should think about a lot. Sure. At the moment, you've got no English players at all playing abroad. Yeah. And the Premier League is a great league, obviously, like the Bundesliga, but you learn so much by going abroad. It's different cultures, different tactical awareness. Different coaches, different language, all of that I think brings a lot to the players, then bring it a lot to his national team, and we clearly can see it with Germany, and I think England will gain a lot by having players playing abroad.
Terrific stuff. Julien Laurens, everybody, give it up.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
If that hasn't got you in the mood, I don't know what will. Before you go, my friend, give us a quick prediction for the big final.
1-0 Higuain.
1-0 in 90 minutes, Higuain.
In 90 minutes, Argentina.
Wow, that would be an upset, right?
I know. From the start, I went for them, so...
He's going for the underdog. What about you? Let us know your predictions for the big game in the comments below. Who's going to stand out most on either side? Will Messi come good when it counts? What about Müller? Will he become the Golden Boot winner for the second time, which would be a remarkable feat for him? Put your comments below. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't already, don't forget you can subscribe to our channel. Lots more World Cup content coming up before we finish this one. But bye for now.